January is over and I kind of wanted to keep track of all the things I do every month, so I'm gonna make a monthly video that kind of recaps everything I've done in the month. So this is my first one, January. Here is what I did this month. I'm gonna start this off with the trips I went on this month. I went on 2 trips. I went to Quartzsite, Arizona, and I made a video about it. You can watch that here. And I also went to Park City, Utah, and you can also watch that here. And those are both trips I do pretty regularly. Quartzsite, newer, but Park City is something I've been doing for a really long time, and I look forward to that trip every year because it's my snow trip. So I think 2 trips is kind of maybe a little excessive for 1 month, but still, it was one was kind of a short trip and they're both somewhat close. So those are the 2 trips I did this year. Next, I want to talk about the movies that I watched this year. I normally watch a lot of movies, but this month I have a longer list than normal because Carson and I did a movie marathon on New Year's Day, but surprisingly I did not go to the movie theater at all this month. Only movies at home. So we started this year with Chicago because it was 2020, so we wanted to watch a 20 themes movie, and we thought that was the perfect because we both love musicals and that's just a great movie. And of course we also watched Disney movies. We watched Tron Legacy and Avengers Endgame, both on Disney Plus, because we both love Endgame and we just really wanted to watch it, and she'd never seen Legacy, so I'm like, okay, well, we'll have to watch Tron. We also watched Kingsman, which is one of my favorite movies, Spider-Man Far From Home, and then we watched The Aeronauts on Amazon Prime. I don't watch a ton of stuff on Amazon Prime, so it wasn't like, okay, yeah, it looked kind of interesting. The whole movie takes place within like 1 day, and it's just 2 people in this hot air balloon, but it was really interesting. Like, it kept my attention more than I thought it would. So I would actually recommend this movie. I thought it was good. I finally got to watch the newer animated movie Abominable, and I kind of liked it. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen, but it was cute and sweet, and I would recommend it, especially for kids. And then I also watched this documentary. The group kind of wanted to watch it, and I was like, okay, sure. It's called Bat Kid, and it was about the Make-A-Wish kid who wanted to be Batman for a day and how the city of San Francisco made that happen. Really sweet. If you're into documentaries and you've got a heart for Make-A-Wish, check this movie out. It's really cute and inspirational. So those are the movies I watched. I also, in keeping with my New Year's resolution, watched some TV shows. So I finished 2 seasons this month. I watched season 3 of Once Upon a Time. I'm slowly rewatching Once Upon a Time because it is my favorite show of all time. Ugh, I just love the beginning seasons of Once Upon a Time. We're not in the Frozen season now. After Frozen 2, I kind of have a new appreciation for this season, and I'm giving it a second chance. So I'm keep going with Once Upon a Time. But then I also finished The Imagineering Story on Disney Plus. Now this is 6 parts, and it was absolutely fantastic. If you have any interest whatsoever in Disney Parks history, Imagineering, watch this series. It's just so beautifully filmed. It has all this old footage and like information that a lot of Disney fans know, and I hope that they make a second season of it. I'm not really sure what they would do because they went all the way from the creation of Disneyland to Galaxy's Edge and all the Disney parks and cruise line and everything. It was really fascinating, and like I said, so well done. I 110% recommend this show to any Disney Parks fans. It was great. Probably the best thing I watched on Disney Plus. In other entertainment category, I saw one play this month. As you guys know, I'm super into the theater, so the one show I got to see this month was Dear Evan Hansen, which is a soundtrack I've been listening to for a long time, and I finally got to see the traveling show of it here in San Diego. And I think the music is great, and I really liked the set design. The story is just kind of interesting, and how they ended it was not always my favorite way of ending things, but the traveling cast was really good, and I enjoyed it. I would have liked to see it on New York with the original cast, but I thought it was great. Sometimes modern theater is just kind of just weird and not very musically to me, but I thought this was really fun. So I finished 2 books this month. 2 seems to be a very popular number in this January, but I finished 2 books. I love to read. The first book I finished, which is the second in a series, is called The Princess and the Fangirl. This is for any convention goer who loves a good little teen romance. It's a young adult book, which is my genre, but the first book in this series is called Geekerella, and they're both kind of spins on fairy tale stories, but they happen at this like Comic-Con-esque convention. And they're all fans of this one show, movie, fandom, I guess, and it's kind of about the adventure of these couple of girls. And the characters from the first book show up in this book a little bit, so that was kind of fun to see. I know there's another one coming out this year. I don't know how many are going to be in this series, but if you are a convention goer and you like young adult books, check out this series. The second book I finished this month is, again, the second book in a series, Legendary. The first book, Caraval, I forgot how much I was obsessed with that first book until I started reading the second one, because I became equally, if not more, obsessed with this one. And now the third one's out, and it's been out for a while, but as soon as I put this one down, I picked up the third and I think final book of this trilogy. Normally I have a book hangover for a couple weeks and can't decide what book to read next, but I instantly picked up the third one because I am obsessed with this series. I love a book that I just completely get into, and this series is that for me. So, Legendary Book 2. Very proud of myself for finishing 2 books this month. And then lastly, and I think my most disappointing thing of this month, is that I only went to Disneyland one time. And I hope I'm gonna make up for it in February. So those were all my adventures in January. I am pretty proud of myself of all the things I did, except disappointed myself for not going to Disneyland more. But there's a little bit more information about Aubrey and what I do with my day-to-day life. I hope you guys enjoyed, because I'm gonna be making one of these every month. My name's Aubrey. I make new videos every Thursday, so make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and I will see you guys next week. Started a bunch of shows. I gotta get on Clone Wars. I don't know why I'm dragging my feet about Clone Wars, because February is the month of the final Clone Wars Season 7, and I need to catch up. I need people get on me about that, because it needs to happen.